Hello, my name is Abel. I'm a Mario Kart DS player from the UK. I'll be running the 32 tracks main category, which consists of playing through every track in the game against the CPUs. I'm delighted to say that on this 4th of July, I'm joined by two of America's finest players in commentary, Puddings and Mikey. Would you guys like to say hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so before anything, I just want to show off this in-game decal, which current time trial world champion MK Dasher created specifically for this run. So shout outs to you. Check out his YouTube channel. He's an amazing Mario Kart DS player. Okay. And I hope everybody over there is doing well. We're going to go straight into versus mode and select our kart and character. Dry bones with the egg one. And set the correct settings to 32 tracks in order. Takes a little while. Okay. I think we're ready to go. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's get a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Woohoo! Let's go!
Okay, so Mario Kart DS, here we are. So the first thing that we're going to be seeing here is Abel's going to start blasting out some mini turbos. If you're familiar with anything you've heard about this game, we do a lot of manual mini turbos, and we're going to see our first technique here, which is snaking. So Abel is alternating the direction of his mini turbos back and forth, and that is in order to keep his boost on straightaways and go just a little bit faster. If you were familiar with any kind of insider forums in the early 2000s, you heard people complaining about this all day, but we're still doing it.
Yep, 20 years later, been used a lot online. So yeah, we're also going to explain why Abel's using the combination that he's using right here. So we have dry bones in the egg one. Now the egg one, it's not necessarily the fastest in terms of speed, but it's generally considered the best kart for all 32 tracks. It has very high handling, high acceleration, which also allows it to mini turbo for a very long time. And that was a very nice blue shell dodge. And along with dry bones, it has very low weight, which also gives it very high speed off-road. And we're going to be going off-road quite a lot during this run. Sometimes it's faster to just go straight through a turn and go right through the off-road instead of taking a turn.
Another blue shell dodge.
Two blue shell dodges in one race. Incredible.
This is a very, as you could have told already, a very, very RNG heavy speed run. So we're going to have to adjust accordingly. The next track is Yoshi Falls. It features a giant Yoshi egg in the middle. And recently, in Mario Kart Wii, a very, very cool tool-assisted speed run has been performed of the fast lap. Do check it out. I believe it goes under 10 seconds.
Yeah, they just bounce off the egg in the middle and just complete the lap in like around 7 seconds or so. Very cool.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But unfortunately, the egg here is both two-dimensional and non-solid. So we can't achieve our dreams here. But what we can do is kind of explain a bit of item strategy that Abel's going to be using. So first off, the thing is, Abel's going to be constantly looking at his bottom screen, checking to see what the items of the computers are getting. But also, he wants to cycle through. If he gets like a fake item box, that's not going to block any shells. So he really wants to get rid of that, and he wants it off of his racing line. So he's just going to keep on cycling through items until he has something like this. And complete his race as fast as possible.
That's one other thing I'd like to mention. I am playing on real hardware. You might be a little confused as to why I'm looking at my monitor. I'm just using the capture preview window. I can see everything much clearer, as well as items that are coming, and in general it's just much clearer.
Yep.
So this is Cheap Cheap Beach. It featured in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Sorry, go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, so now we're on Cheap Cheap Beach again. It was in 8 Deluxe. Very fun track. This is the first track where we're going to start seeing cycles. So there's going to be a lot of obstacles in our way on a lot of these tracks, whether it be enemies like Goombas or crabs, or sometimes it's just natural stuff like the water. So you'll see here, once we get to the water section, the tide's going to be coming up and down, and every obstacle like that is going to be operating on a cycle, which means if we know, if we keep track of what the time is on the timer on the bottom screen, then we're able to figure out where exactly these cycles are going to be. So as you can see right there, Abel went into the water while it was low. He knew this because of the timer, and this allows him to go in. It goes a lot faster when it's lower, so we're able to cut that turn right there. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of that later in the run. Sometimes if we slow down because we get hit with too many items, we won't be able to use certain cycles. But that's just another part of the run. It requires a lot of improvisation. Thankfully, we're going to be able to make do.
Yep, so... Okay, so unfortunately that time we were not able to dodge the blue shell. So we're going to, I guess, spend a little bit of time. I can explain very quickly how we dodge blue shells in this game. And it's very simple. It's just you hold your mini turbo when the orange sparks out, and when the blue shell is about to go down and hit you, you just release it and jump, and you dodge it pretty much every time. It's a very large window, about 7 to 9 frames or so. So here we are, Luigi's Mansion, based off of the GameCube launch title. And we got a fun fact for you. These stairs that Abel's going up right now, if you were to stop on them and then try to spin in place, the game will completely hard crash, at least on console, due to a missing sound effect. So if you have the game right now, go boot it up and try that out. It's pretty funny.
Incredible. And besides that, not too much going on here. There's these moving trees which you have to watch out for. Again, they're on a cycle, and then you have to carefully navigate around the mud. And besides that, there's not too much going on this track, so let's just enjoy some very clean driving lines from Abel as we hear our first few set of donations.
Thank you, definitely. We have so much love coming in for this run right now. As a matter of fact, we have $25 from Puddings. MKDS forever. It's such a blast showing off my favorite game of all time here at GDQ. Thank you, Puddings.
Thanks, Puddings.
And we also have $5 from Soul of the Medley that says, "Hey, Abel, Puddings, and Mikey, good luck on the run today. I know it's going to be a good one. Make sure you get all the blue shell dodges and no shocks. Also, Waluigi pinball shortcut and 32 track attempts when, Abel?"
Today.
Maybe today. We'll see.
Today will be the day.
Wonderful. Do we have time for one more?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. We have $50 from Matster of the Universe that says, "So hyped for Abel's Mario Kart DS run. Mario Kart DS was the first game I played on the DS, and I spent so many hours racing online, though not nearly as well as I hope we'll see today. Also hyped for the PB run. Much love and support for the runners, cast, and crew. Less than 3. Thank you so much, Matster.
All right, so here we are. We've made it through the first cup. We're here in Flower Cup, and we're going to see Abel doing a technique here, hopefully, called PRB, or Prolonged Rocket Boost. We lost it, unfortunately, but what that stands for is Prolonged Rocket Boost, and by getting the perfect start boost, which is a 3-frame window, and maintaining your mini turbo, so getting your next mini turbo out before the boost from your previous one expires, you can basically keep your immunity to off-road indefinitely until you are either too slow or you miss a mini turbo. And this was actually discovered on Christmas Eve 2005 by a Japanese player by the name of Ninsan, and it's the greatest Christmas gift we've ever been given.
Oh boy.
Yeah, PRB, personally one of my favorite techniques, not just in this game, but in all of Mario Kart. It's just so incredible to see. It's very demanding on the hands too. Like, you can't lose your boost for even a single frame. Otherwise, say you're doing a time trial run where you want to hold PRB for the entire track, you're gonna have to start it all over again. But yeah, for Desert Hills, very cool track. There's some very cool mushroom shortcuts we could do at the end if we had them. But Puddings, I believe you had something to say about this track?
Well, actually, first off, it's not a very cool track. It's actually a very warm track. But all of these skyboxes in this game rotate very slowly, and Desert Hills is the only course in the game whose skybox rotates clockwise. That will be on the quiz later.
Thank you,
Incredible.
Puddings. Okay. Moving on to Delfino Square.
Yep, Delfino Square. This is personally my favorite track. I love this one. This one's based on Delfino Plaza and Super Mario Sunshine, if you've ever played that one. So there's quite a lot going on here. Not only do we have this beautiful scenery going through all these little buildings right here, but we're going to see quite a few different shortcuts on this track. So first, Abel is going to go over here, and he's going to cut into this little mud section and perform this without a mushroom, carefully mini-turboing through. There's not a lot of room for spacing right there, so it's very precise, but Abel has performed it very well. And we're going to see next lap, another shortcut that we like to call the dot cut. So if you look to the left, right, once you get out of the town section, you're going to see there's a little surface that has a jump that goes onto a dock below. You're actually able to jump onto that dock, and it saves a little bit of time. Abel's going to perform it right here. Very nice.
Nice. That is much harder than it looks. And I guess one thing also to point out with Delfino Square in general is you saw that the bridge was down right there. So a nice thing about going fast on this track is you actually get rewarded for doing that. And if the faster you are, the more likely it's going to be that the bridge is down when you get to it. And hopefully I think we're well on pace to get 3 good bridges.
Yeah, so far so good. We didn't get lightning, which is a huge time loss, so we're looking good. Oh, Luigi railed us there, and we got another blue shell coming our way, and that's a dodge. And as you can see, the bridge is still flat.
Luigi's out for blood tonight.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this is really good pace. Yeah, 135 or 134.
Excellent.
Yes. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention is that as fast as we're going, it'll be very, very troublesome to catch up with the tail end of the CPUs because they'll be holding very, very dangerous items and they will be able to knock you around anyway.
Yep. All right, real quick, Abel, let's not forget, we're going to slow down right here. This is Waluigi Pinball, the moment we've all been waiting for. Abel's going to slow down, get an item, and hopefully, that's not what we want to see. We wanted to get some mushrooms because we wanted to attempt something very cool that was recently discovered in the last few months. Right here, if you jump off that rainbow boost panel and you move a little bit to the left, there's a little trick you can do where if you line up and hit the wall and the grounds at around the same time, and then you perform a hop right as you hit the ground, it has to be the exact same frame, it's a 1-frame window, then you could move a little bit to the right, and hopefully, if you do it correctly, you'll jump forward and upward very quickly, and hopefully clear an invisible wall, and that'll allow you to go all the way down to the pinball section on the bottom. This was discovered just a few months ago, and it saves around 8 seconds. It is incredible.
Yes, so the shortcut, I mean, really the flashiest thing, if you've seen anything from Mario Kart DS in the past few months, it's probably this shortcut. It was discovered by 2 players, Zumo de Papaya and Guanlong X. Shout outs to them. And since then, since April when it was discovered, the world record on this track has gone from a 155 to a 135.2. So huge time cuts overall.
It's just incredible, yeah.
So I'm holding a star here, just in case any of the CPUs use a lightning. So I'm keeping also an eye on the bottom screen here. But I may as well just start using it in a second. In fact, I'm probably going to use it right around now. See, now the blue shell's coming my way as well.
And we can dodge those.
One last thing I guess we can point out in this track that's not a shortcut is Abel's also mini turboing into these bumpers. And if he releases one and then jumps into it, it'll expel him outwards and it'll save just a little bit of time over driving normal lines forward.
Did you see those 2 pinballs that he almost hit?
I did, yeah.
Amazing.
All right, Shroom Ridge. So this is a track that has a very tricky PRB strat. We're going to see if Abel can hit it. No, it's fine. So there's a lot of things to contend with on this track. There's a lot of difficult terrain, as we're going to see, but also the cars are moving in both directions. So it's very difficult to kind of know where you are in the track. Cycle-based, if there's any track that is cycle-based, it's this one. You are constantly need to be aware of where the trucks and cars are going to be, depending on where you are on the track. And luckily, we usually drive this track in the same amount of time every time, so we know what to expect.
Yeah, although typically at the end of lap 3 on one of the very last turns, there's a specific blue car that could be just right in our racing line, and it's very challenging to deal with, especially on time trials. If you're on a really good run, you get really nervous on lap 3 and you have to worry about this car. You have to go on the inside of it and just be on the very edge of the turn, almost falling off. It's very difficult, but we usually see it pulled off.
Yes, so now we're entering lap 3. This isn't such a bad pace. Oh, actually, I was just going to say this isn't such a bad pace.
Is that our first lightning?
No, we've had 1 or 2 before, I think.
I think we've had a couple, yeah. So this will, now we've got a blue shell we need to adjust to. That's so far
Nice.
100%.
No, we missed one as well.
Yeah, on Cheap Cheap Beach.
We did actually. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Don't worry, I'm keeping you honest here.
Nothing ever goes perfectly well here.
Yeah. It's my job to keep you honest, Abel. Yeah. So closing out here, we're going to be going into, we're going to be finishing the Flower Cup and moving on to the Star Cup. So we're about quarter way through the run. And our first track here is going to be DK Pass. Also, shout out to the swag finish. So on DK Pass, it's a very kind of polarizing track in our community. A lot of people really like it. A lot of people really hate it. It really has to do with your opinion on the downhill section, really. But we're going to hopefully be collecting a little secret. We're able to get up the mountain, dodging all the snowmen and snowballs on his way up.
And yes, the magical item box.
Yes.
Here it is.
So this item box is very special. As you can see, it gave Abel a star in first place. So this item box in total can give a few different things. Usually a star or triple mushrooms, which we really love in first place, especially the star. But it can also give a single mushroom or the dreaded 1 in 200 red shell. Speaking of red shells, we just got hit by one right there. So
you think it was from that item box?
Perhaps. One thing that is kind of notable in this run is that red shells are honestly more of a threat to us as a racer than blue shells are. And that is because the red shell AI is just devious. It was designed by someone just with very bad intentions. And they can track you down no matter what, and they will always have a tendency to come at you from the side as opposed to behind you. So even your bananas behind you can't help sometimes.
Yep, they'll track you down no matter what, except for when they don't, because there are a lot of times where sometimes they'll just give up. We've seen before on Abel's stream, a red shell's coming towards him, and all of a sudden it'll just move straight and fall into the water or something. It's hilarious just how polarizing the red shells are here.
Oh yeah, there are times when the red shells on Rainbow Road will do exactly just that, and I would joke that I would just say that they've gone into interstellar travel. Basically, they'll reach another track in 80,000 years or something.
Yeah, they've evolved beyond us. Nice mushroom right there.
Okay, so this is a fairly average DK pass. A good time here at world record pace would be something like under a 150 time, so 149, 148, something like that. For reference, the time trial world record is at 142.3 by Japanese player Taiga. Look him up.
Taiga is very incredible.
I'm sure we're going to mention him at some other point during the run, but here we are, TikTok clock. So this is another track that is very cycle-based. So we're going to be seeing a few different things, mostly clock hands, this pendulum, and the spinning gears here. And we just need to, again, know kind of where we are on the track and what to expect. Like, am I going to go to the left of the pendulum this lap, or am I going to go to the right? But in all seriousness, I think this is a pretty straightforward track in terms of racing. Just kind of got to know where you are when you are.
Yep, and we see some very cool tech. We move back and forth on the cogs below down there. We always move on the one that's moving forward, so it boosts us just a little bit. And then at the end, you'll see those two spinning cogs. Sometimes they'll go back and forth between which one's forward and backwards, but we always go on the one that's spinning forwards, and that'll propel us pretty fast usually, so it saves quite a bit of time.
Yes, normally I'd be, oh no, front blue shell. So that tends to happen sometimes, depending on the pace you have. But yeah, very annoying, very difficult to adjust to in this run.
Good cycle though, managed to go inside. It's faster to just go straight through the center of the clock right there instead of going around and hitting the boost panels.
Jeez, we're already lapping the computers. This is insane. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did kind of mention it earlier, but there are some kind of characters of interest that we are not big fans of. Speaking of, here's one of them right now, Rob, an introduction to this game. He is the heaviest character in the game, and by even touching him in the slightest, you will be sent into the Shadow Realm instantly.
Yeah, more on that later, but now we're up to Mario Circuit, and we're hopefully going to see some PRB from Abel right here. He does need to concentrate because this can be very difficult to pull off, and then hopefully right after we're going to see a very cool shortcut.
Yep, so as I explained earlier, you just kind of keep your mini turbos, pace them out right, and you just get to drive on off-road without any problem at all.
Yep, very nice PRV right here. And now Abel is going to enter a shortcut and hopefully make it. This one's very difficult.
Yes, so right here, he's going to try to...
Oh, perfect!
Amazing.
Wow!
So that works because there is a piece of geometry right before the wall that kind of is up, raised a little bit. And by doing that, you can press R right when you're about to go off of it and save a significant amount of time over the normal way. And Abel's been missing that a lot in practice, but you know, we love to see it.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning. Usually, what happens is you'll jump onto the wall and you'll get like stuck on the edge just a little bit, and you'll need to hop on. But right there, Abel just perfectly went straight over it, which is much faster than getting stuck on it. And sometimes when that happens, if you don't expect it, you'll just go right into the wall coming up after. But again, that was just executed absolutely flawlessly. So huge shout out to Abel right here.
That was very impressive.
Is looking like a sub 130, which is quite surprising and awesome in a marathon setting. Let's see.
This track's going so well, so that Rainbow Road can go even worse. Don't worry.
Oh no, we're
As it historically
30,
does.
Sadly. It's a 131, but it's still very, very good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Awesome. Now moving on to Airship Fortress, which is based off of Super Mario Bros. 3.
All right. So first things first, Abel's gonna drive through this bullet bill section. They have very strange hitboxes, which we'll explain later. And now we're moving on. We're gonna see some rocky wrenches. Now we forgot to mention before, but so that shortcut you saw on Waluigi Pinball, there's also a similar shortcut that you could pull off on Luigi's Mansion and Delfino Square. Those are much harder and save around 1 to 2 seconds. And there's also a shortcut that's been theorized through Tool Assist on this track as well, but unfortunately no one's been able to pull it off just yet. But besides that, there's still a lot going on in this track. So we mentioned those bullet bills from before. These guys are really funny. They actually, as you saw right there, Abel got pretty close. They actually only have a hitbox right on the front. So if you hit them in the middle or like on the back side of them, then you won't get hit at all because they only have a hitbox on the front.
Yeah, former world record, the video upload of it has like dry bones clearly inside of the bullet bill, and I think there's somebody in the comments who's just like, excuse me? And we're just like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah, I'd say the trickiest thing about this track, for me personally, is the spiral. Having to adjust with very specific hopping in order to not get a very wide line. But anyway, we're into lap 3 now, almost done, and heading into the Special Cup.
Yeah, I think we have probably time for like 1 or 2 donations at the end of this track.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I have $50 from BZ Archer that says, so much Mario Kart and Trackmania and peanut butter? Take my money! And just to update you on that incentive for the Trackmania upgrade to the Puzzle 100% plus Stunts Any percent run, we have raised $4,430 towards that $10,000 goal. We are smashing it. Please get those donations in and select that incentive so that we can see more racing, more Trackmania Sunrise, and more SGDQ.
Yeah, love Trackmania. Get that funded. All right, Wario Stadium. So here's going to be a track that we're going to be seeing a technique called PRB reset. So we already explained PRB, but we can actually obtain PRB again by, okay, never mind. But we can obtain it again, jeez, man. Okay, by going off of a mini turbo or going off of a boost panel, and it will reset kind of our PRB state and allow us to continue the technique. Oh
That's
my gosh.
brutal right there. Wow. Yeah, red shells can do that too. They can hit you from forward, sides, anywhere they want.
Yeah, we call this Red Shell Stadium because for some reason red shells just seem to happen at a rate much higher here than anywhere else.
Yeah, there are certain tracks which allow the CPUs to cycle red shells more effectively. I don't know why. This is Yoshi's 3rd, and we're only a minute in, so I'm going to attempt to do some PRB restart here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So I'm cutting the off-road, and I'm going to try and do a full lap.
Yeah, so also we're going to hopefully see Abel set up here for a shortcut at the end of the lap. He wasn't able to do it because of the red shell, but by doing main turbo and bouncing... Oh
another
my
red
gosh.
shell. Oh my god, come
The red
on.
shells, come on. I thought we paid them off enough. Apparently not.
No, we need more donations for that. If you guys keep donating, we'll have the best luck possible for Rainbow Road, which historically everything goes wrong there. With enough donations, though, we're going to see a lot of cool stuff.
Come on, everyone, get in your donations so we can see a fabulous Rainbow Road.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Abel's going to try PRB one more time, hopefully be able to show off the full PRB.
Yeah, so there's kind of a meme in the community where it's just like, okay, why drive Wario Stadium when you can just drive around all the obstacles in the mud instead? Nope. I think
Yeah,
we will be out of lightning by the time the shortcut comes up, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
it should be okay. I mean, the main goal is to really just... Oh, hang on. Oh, this is really awkward. Let's see if I can...
It's possible.
Yes, yes!
Very nice.
Okay. So by going over the wall there, we're able to trigger a checkpoint on the other side of the track and respawn there, and that saves about a second to a second and a half.
Yes. And then another blue shell at the end. Okay, great. So moving on to Peach Gardens, we didn't get to mention before, we're now in the Special Cup, and tracks get a lot harder from here on out. These are some of the most difficult tracks in the whole game right here. So right now we're on Peach Gardens. This one's rather simplistic, but still quite a bit going on. We drive through that little flower bed right there. It is much, much faster than just going around the whole turn.
We also have some runaway Braydens there in the maze. So shout outs to Chainshot Brayden, Super Mario Maker player. For
Everyone in
making an
chat, please say hi to
appearance.
Brayden.
Hi, Braden.
Lots of
And,
fun characters.
Yeah, not much else to say about this track, except I do want to mention really quick, shout-outs to the current world record of this track, which actually holds PRB for all 3 laps, and it is just incredible. Only 2 people have been able to hold PRB for so long, and it's just an amazing run, so do check it out.
Yes, MK Dasher and Tiger. Tiger's the current world record holder, I believe, with a 1:22.511, if memory serves me right. They are essentially the Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo of Mario Kart DS time trials. Do check out their world records on mkworldrecords.com.
Yep, and as we drive this last lap of Peach Garden, I think we have time for a couple donations.
Fantastic. The love continues to pour in for this run. We have $63 from HD Rookie that says, had to drop a donation for my favorite Mario Kart game. Any other mission mode enjoyers out there? Well, here's $1 for all 63 missions. If that crazy pinball shortcut somehow gets hit, perhaps I'll add a bit more. Best of luck, Abel. You've got this.
Thank you,
Thank
Rookie.
you so much for that donation. We also have $25 from Charles that says, did you know that you can still play Mario Kart DS online in 2024? Thank you for that generous donation to Doctors Without Borders. I have time for one more.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Great. We have $15 from Dragon Sighted that says, MKDS hype! I have been so hyped for this run. Mario Kart DS is such a formative game for me. I remember nights of walking down my street in the evenings after school looking for Wi-Fi to play on or getting a ride to the library to play MKDS and RuneScape. Oh, how the times have changed. It's one of the first experiences of a game I was ever actually able to really see progression get faster at. Huge thanks to the MKDS community for holding it down for so many years, and here's for so many more to come. Good luck, Abel.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
I
Awesome,
wanted to
thank
add
you.
something real quick regarding that. I used to do the exact same thing when I was much younger. When I first started out playing this game back in 2006, I would try and look for Wi-Fi hotspots. Oh, we're getting a really badly timed blue shell. Not enough time to drift there. And yeah, and a red shell adding insult to injury.
It's fine. It's right before Rainbow Road. We're getting the bad luck out of the way.
Exactly. But yeah, I would try and look for a Wi-Fi hotspot so desperately to play this game online. This was before we had... this was before most people had Wi-Fi connections at home. So...
Yeah, times are very different back then. Anyway, we're on Bowser Castle right now. We have only one more lap, so we'll explain this quickly. Very, very challenging track. There's a lot going on here. One of the longest tracks in the game at almost 1 minute, 50 seconds. So you really have to endure the snaking for a while. And there's a lot of obstacles and tight corners, like this spinning bridge right here.
Yeah, I think I saw some people in chat freaking out about the fact that he was even performing a drift at all on the bridge there.
It's incredible, yeah. It takes a lot of control and technique to be able to do that. But Abel is one of the greatest players in the game. He has a top 10 time on this track. Oh, unfortunately missed the shortcut at the end here. So what you could do is you could jump off the last turn right here and hit the finish line as you fall into the lava, and you're skipping the last turn, so this saves a tiny bit of time. We always do it at the end of the race. And now here we are, Rainbow Road. Again, historically does not go well at live events, but we're gonna see some magic happen today.
Yep, we're just gonna hope that Waluigi backs off just a little bit, gives us our personal space. There he is, he's dead. So we're gonna be doing hopefully 2 different shortcuts showing off to you today. I think we even have enough time on lap 1 to do it. Here.
I think we do. I'm going to do the first one.
Here it comes.
So we're going to be turning around here. We're going to be falling off here. We'll go for it lap 2, but it gives me a little bit of time to explain, I guess, the first shortcut. So the first shortcut that I guess we're going to try and attempt is the loop skip, which was discovered in 2014 by MK Dasher. Shout outs again to him. And we're going to be going up to the spiral, and we're going to be turning around, hopefully, again, if the items let us.
This is awful.
If the items let us.
Like we said, never goes well in live events.
Yeah, we're going to be turning around and launching ourselves off of the spiral into the loop directly. Hopefully, it will line up just right.
Yes.
There we go.
No!
Oh!
That was still very impressive.
Oh, I thought I was going to make that. But anyway, let's see if we can try and do the pipe shortcut here.
Usually when you fail that loop skip, you either hit the bottom of the road up ahead or you just immediately fall out of bounds. So getting up to the end of the loop-de-loop, even if you fall off, is still very impressive.
Yeah, so we also just saw the pipe shortcut there. So by going to the last set of rings, turning around, and then kind of yeeting ourselves off the road, for lack of a better term.
What do you say? Should I do it again? Should I try it again?
Yes, we got it. We got it.
No, we have a boost. It's screwed up everything.
They just don't want us to try.
No, its legacy continues for speedrunning marathons. I don't know why this always happens.
We still got some air there. I was very impressed.
Yes, we should still be able to do the out of bounds skip one more time. Here we go.
Yep, so as we're falling through the air here, we're actually passing through a couple key checkpoints. Yes, they work in this game. And any MKW fans out there, we do have a functional video game. And it allows us to respawn right near the corkscrew there and just finish the track. So even despite all of the obstacles on our way there, we still finished well in first, you know. All right.
CPUs, they don't have a good time there either.
Yeah, the first track of the retros, SNES Mario Circuit 1, the very first Mario Kart track. Sadly, I hit the wall there. But what you're meant to be doing here is cutting across the sand and basically just avoiding the regular terrain, and it saves a bunch of time.
Yeah, PRB is just very, very strong, especially on tracks like this where the most direct route is just clearly a straight line across the off-road. So, I mean, people have been doing it since the very beginning, and this is, I think, what we call like one of the best practice tracks for PRB because you have a very easy open area to work on it.
Yeah, it's actually the PRB sandbox of the game for players that are starting out learning advanced tech.
Yep, and if you hold PRB for the entire track, then usually you'll be able to complete the whole track in about 38 seconds, which is incredible.
Yep. So Moo Moo Farm, this is a kind of, again, polarizing and a very annoying track. So we have a couple of things to contend with, other than, of course, the computers, is we're going to be going on the walls next to the fence on the right, and we're just going to try to stick as close to that wall as possible throughout the entire track. We also have our lovely friends here, the moles, and luckily, unlike MK64, these moles do operate on a consistent cycle, so we know kind of when they're going to come out, and also they kind of forecast their movement a little bit better. In 64, anytime you go over a mole, like mole bowl there, you're just, rolling the dice. But we're going to be doing a bunch of different mini turbos back and forth, and we're also going to be doing a thing called a slip drift, which is basically kind of using the momentum from like falling off a surface and landing, and we're just going to immediately start a drift instead of having to hop to start a drift.
Yeah, so slip drifting saves just a little bit of time every time you do it. And before we go, we just need to say hi to the cows really quick. They're watching us from the grass right over the fence. So everyone in chat, please say hi to the cows.
Hi, cows.
Hey. Okay, so moving on now to, I believe, GBA Peach Circuit. Very popular track from Mario Kart Super Circuit.
Yeah,
I think Puddings, this is all you.
This is my favorite track in the game. I think a lot of people really enjoy this track. Very welcoming for beginners, but we're going to be seeing, obviously, a lot more PRB racing. Abel's going to be using the track as a suggestion and kind of going wherever he pleases. And this is actually, so this is the intro track in Mario Kart Super Circuit, or aka Mario Kart Advance. And I think it's probably the best track for beginners in terms of wanting a challenge, there's a lot of off-road, and I personally am a bigger non-PRB fan here, but I will tolerate PRB for today.
Yeah, we gotta respect the PRB. It's just one of the coolest things you can do. It takes a lot of skill to master, and Abel is just tearing the track up right now. PRB all 3 laps, very fast time.
Nothing. Yeah, we always gotta worry for those computers, though.
53 seconds, that's amazing.
Yep.
All right, so we have GCN Luigi Circuit from Mario Kart Double Dash. So this is another very PRB friendly track. So we're going to be doing a PRB reset once again off the boost panel there, or we're going to get destroyed by Waluigi. No, we still kept it. So this track is very chaotic, especially in versus runs RTA. Oh, I think if you stayed to the left a bit more, the red shell would have just drove by.
I was thinking about that just there. As you can see from the bottom screen, Waluigi is right behind us.
Yep, and he's got another one. And we can't even block. And he's got a third one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not sure if we mentioned before, but when we're in first place, the only items we can get are bananas, green shells, fake item boxes, and triple bananas if we're lucky. And out of all those items, the fake item box is the only one that we cannot get rid of red shells with. So whenever we get one, we want, oh my god, that was brutal. Whenever we get a fake item box, we just want to throw it away as quick as possible and hopefully put it somewhere where it won't get in our way later. But yeah, besides that, we just want to hold on to our defensive items. There's more red shells, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So things that I was going to mention are obviously we're going to be doing a lot of PRB reset off of these ramps, but also the kind of chaotic two-way racing you're seeing in the center of the track opens us up a lot for like a 5th or 6th place computer just launching a blue at us with no time to react. So it's something where you always got to be vigilant.
Okay. Okay, we got out alive, and I accidentally pressed X to drop that banana there. Unfortunately, I've been doing that for a bit of the run, sadly. Okay, now Donut Plains 1. It's another flat track from the SNES, with the aim being just to hold PRB for all 3 laps. I believe one of you wanted to touch upon the world record history here.
Yeah, so PRB, as you can see, Abel had PRB for about the first half of the lap. PRB here is usually typically done with the Dry Bomber. It's a bit slower than the Egg 1, but has much, much higher control and can go a bit faster off-road. So we can hold PRB with the Egg 1 here, but we have to take much wider lines, and it's a little bit awkward. But as of a couple of years ago, the Egg 1 now has the world record for PRB on this track. It's a very incredible feat to see. Some very interesting lines are taken to hold PRB and still take the turns as tight as possible. So just huge shout out to, again, MK Dasher and Taiga, who have been able to perform it. And also we wanted to shout out Canadian player Cole Edwards, also known as Dr. Mario, for having the non-PRB world record here. Even without PRB, this track is still very technical. There's a lot of really cool turns you could take, so shout out to all of them.
Yeah, the staff ghost actually snakes on that track.
So Frappe Snowland, one of my personal favorites out of any Mario Kart track. I'm going to see if I can do the trick here. Okay, so what I did there was, and I believe a red shell's coming towards me. Wow, this is unbelievable. What I did there was maintain PRB, go across the edge of the dead zone and just cut across it. You may have seen on the bottom screen, I cut quite a large portion there, so it's a big time save. And then we do that laps 2 and 3. Slightly more to the right as we don't have PRB in our speed, so yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so really I think the only other thing of note kind of in this track, other than, the myriad of obstacles, is we need to kind of adjust our driving in order to kind of deal with the lower traction terrain. So, adjusting when we release things so we don't get snowmanned.
Yep, we also just go over that little snow pillar right there to save a bit of time. And not much else to say about this track, so I think it's a very good time to relax, grab a nice cup of hot chocolate, even if it's July, and we're just going to enjoy some nice driving from Abel as we hear more donations.
Definitely. We have a $5 donation from Red Shell Inc. that says, "I'll see what I can do about delaying the next Red Shell delivery." Thank you for that. We also have $5 from Jojo07 that says, Mario Kart DS was among the first games I ever played. I hold it dear to my heart, and I'm glad to see it being run at GDQ by such a talented runner. You're doing great, Abel, by the way. Can we get some love in chat and in the audience for Abel right now?
Abel is just incredible, yeah. Thank you so much.
We also have a $500 donation from Anonymous that says, MKDS is still my favorite. And let's crush that Trackmania incentive. Go MSF. And just as an update, we only have $4,260 remaining of that upgrade for the Trackmania Sunrise run. So if you want to see that run and I want to see that run, go ahead and get your donations in now.
All right, so actually, good segue there. We just were on the wall there. You're probably wondering what that is. So that is a strat that we like to call the Zaghetto. If you know the Cyclemic chant or like the Cyclemic yell, it's kind of like that. And we named it after a former world champion from the Netherlands, Miguel Rodriguez, aka Zaghetto. And he just kind of pioneered the strat of skipping that last booster panel and just going over the wall. And it saves a little bit of time, a fraction of a second, and we like to go for it and shout him out.
Smash Bros. Melee player, might I add, from back in the day. Yeah. Going back to some of the donation comments. I can see that MKDS is one of the first games that people played. It's certainly one that evokes a deep sense of nostalgia, and it's the game that got me into competitive gaming, introduced me to the speedrunning world, and here I am almost 20 years later still playing it, and happier I couldn't be.
Yep, we love this game. We, the three of us, have dedicated a lot of time into it. We love the community too. Shouts to everyone in the community. And very nice BC2 right here. Real quick, we just need to mention, there's only 7 item boxes on this track, so not a lot of items, just a fun fact.
Thankfully.
Yep. Speaking of items...
before that, I quickly just want to shout out Laser Trap in the audience as the Mario Kart DS backup runner in case anything happened to me in the last couple of weeks. But thankfully, I'm here. Just wanted to say hello to Laser Trap in the audience.
Yep, so here we are, Baby Park. A fan favorite. We hate it in this game, though. As you can see, it's a lot kind of a downgraded version of its Double Dash counterpart. Only 5 laps, and everything's kind of muted. And we don't even want to talk about this track anymore. So if you have another donation or two.
I certainly do. We have $250 from Biscuit Cakes that says, tight gameplay, engaging commentary, and a skeleton turtle driving an egg. What more could you ask for? You all are amazing. Thank you for that donation, Biscuit Cakes. We also have $50 from Cesarus that says, no more red shells? No more red shells. Wait, that's not it. I mean, no more red shells. Thank you for that donation.
Actually, that reminded me, we have a community member who actually donated earlier, Charles, who his actual license plate is Egg1. He got a custom license plate.
That is amazing.
So MKDS imitates life.
Shout out.
So now we're on Koopa Beach 2, which I believe Abel still has PRB right here.
Sadly not.
Unfortunately. Okay, yeah. So we can use PRB to go just a little bit tighter, go over this grass, seaweed, lily pad. We still don't really know what this is. It's just kind of here. But not too much going on this track. It's a very quick one too. Just a glorified circle. And right here at the end, we're going to jump into the water. Very similar to Bowser's Castle. There's a finish line that extends outward, and we can jump into the water and save just a little bit of time.
Okay, now moving on to N64 Choco Mountain, which I'm sure many of you in the audience are probably asking yourselves, will he do it? Will he do the Weather Tenko? I'm sorry to disappoint, there is no such thing here. For reference, in Mario Kart 64, there is a glitch shortcut you can do at the beginning in order to trigger the lap count over the wall. But instead, we get to appreciate the sights of Choco Mountain in its entirety.
Yes, so Choco Mountain is a very technical track, especially at world record level. It's got a lot of narrow kind of pathways and not much going on, at least visually, so it's hard to tell kind of where you are and what you're doing. So especially with those boulders at the end, knowing like, okay, can I beat this boulder or should I take a wider line so I don't get hit by it? And this track has seen a fair amount of strat development in the past, I'd say 5 or 6 years or so. We used to do a much easier strat, pioneered by the Scottish player, Mikeylorr, who is probably this track's biggest fan in the world. So shout out to him if he's still watching. But in 2018, a Brazilian player, Likuki, who you may know from Super Mario Bros. 1 speedrunning, former world record holder there, actually invented or kind of created and theorized a new strat that we use in the world record today, and is able to kind of go a whole second or more faster than the older strat that we used.
Yep. Yes. Now heading into lap 3, I believe there's a red shell chasing me. Actually, no, a blue shell. I just heard it. Not sure exactly where it is. Hopefully I'm not going to be in the air here. Oh, this is tight.
Oh,
and
nice. Hit the wall. That's okay, though. Wall hits happen a lot here, though. It is a pretty tight track. There's not a lot of room for error right here, but we're able to drive it very well. And ending the run, we're just going to bounce off these little mountains. And very nicely done. Moving on, we're going on to GBA Luigi Circuit.
Yes. GBA Luigi Circuit. We call it LC2 because it's the second Luigi Circuit in the game. And this track is very, very difficult, especially for newer players. There's a lot of off-road, a lot of difficult turns, and a fun fact about kind of MKDS history for you. This will, again, be on the quiz. Back in the day, when you played Wi-Fi, you could only play on 20 of the 32 tracks in the game, and this was not one of the tracks that was included. But when it was picked online by people who had a special action replay code, a lot of the Japanese players would refer to this track as the maze because they would always get lost on it.
Yeah, and then we'd slowly be adopting it and calling it the maze as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to watch out for on this track. Like those puddles, we come close a little bit. Oh, geez, and lightning too. Yeah, it's really bad weather here. A lot of puddles too. I think someone needs to put a wet floor sign here. Abel, could you go ahead and press the bottom screen, please?
Certainly. There you go.
There's our wet floor sign. As you can see, the minimap looks like a man falling down.
Might I add, I think that looks like a dog stretching, Mikey. So
it's up for interpretation.
Yeah, if you see something there that's not the wet floor sign of the dog stretching, tell us about it. Donate. Leave a donation.
Yes. Let us know, please.
We'd like to hear your MKDS theories.
Yep, and real quick before we end this track, I just want to shout out this track for now being the only track where the Dry Bomber has the PRB world record. As we mentioned before, Donut Plains 1 now uses the Egg 1 for PRB, but this is now the only track where Dry Bomber is the fastest. Again, some really tight turns. We have to really go out of our way to hold on to PRB and keep our mini turbos as tight as possible. So, it's very cool to see.
Yep. So Mushroom Bridge here, we're going to hope to not get pwned by some computers here at the beginning. Luckily, we are not face first in the wall today.
It's just Yoshi, he's friendly.
Yeah, they can have a tendency to kind of knock you to the left and ruin your line starting out. But, so here's Mushroom Bridge. It is from Mario Kart Double Dash, and it's a little bit of a downgraded version from what you may be used to. We can't drive up on the bridge, and there's no secret sort of pathways. But there's still a lot of fun sort of driving to go on here. The cars are a little bit easier because they're all traveling in one direction. And this is actually the site of the final boss battle in the game in mission mode against Wiggler.
Yeah. Wait, spoilers for no one who beat all 6 missions. Come on. Not everyone knows that if they didn't get all 3 stars or just 1 star.
It's okay. Oh man, now I'm going to get banned from the MKDS community for spoiling the game.
Well, before we get too far with any spoilers, can I cut in with a couple special donations?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Please.
Wonderful. We have $25 from MKDS 1992 that says, "Hey, Abel, Puddings, and Mikey. Good luck on your run, Abel. Keep going. You are doing awesome. Can't wait to destroy our opponents at the World Championships the next weeks. I'm sure we will win this year. Hope to meet all you guys soon again. Much love, MKDS forever." And we also have $25 from Mikey that says, "Let's go, Abel. This run has been so incredible. Much love to everyone here." And just as a real quick update, we only have $3,500 left of that upgrade for the Trackmania Sunrise run. Let's get those donations in.
Thank you, Jaidlyn. Just wanted to quickly say that MKDS 1992 is in fact the current world record holder on Waluigi Pinball. So do check out his run on YouTube. I believe it's a 135.2, something like that.
Yep.
A very incredible run. It's the shortcut all 3 laps.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I've only done it 1 lap, so anyway.
Luckily, we're showing Choco Island to just the amount of respect that it deserves. This is a very difficult and very unliked track in this community, where these bumps here kind of send you off on a direction and ruin your momentum, and we don't like them. So luckily, we don't have to talk about the track because it's already over. That's the best outcome.
Okay, so Banshee Boardwalk might be fair to say for my community. This is home to the unofficial or official, whatever you want to call it, Abel mascot. We're going to see him right here. He's present in other Mario games. It's Bubba the Fish. There he is.
It's Bubba!
Yeah, anybody say hi to Bubba in the chat, or if you have the emo, spam it. Don't spam it too much, but we love Bubba here. He is kind of a beacon of both RTA categories in this game, 32 tracks and all missions, and he appears near the end of the run in both and kind of cheers you on and gives you the motivation to finish it out and finish out strong and do your best. So we really love Bubba here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I see
the-
I see Abel has a banana right here. I think we're going to try to feed Bubba really quick.
Exactly, I was just going to say that. Here you go, Bubba.
Oh, that went in his
perfect.
mouth. That went in his mouth. That was insane.
Yes, we have to add that Bubba has no collision, so that's why that happened.
Unfortunately. But that's the thing, though. He's a very kind soul. He could never hurt anyone. He can't hurt anyone. He's just not able to. But that's just why we love him. He's just such a supportive friend. And so we're about to finish Banshee Boardwalk right here. We have 1 more lap. There's a pretty difficult track. There's not a lot of room for snaking on some of these straightaways. It's very narrow, and sometimes there's not a wall to protect us. But we're going to do our best. We're also just going to cut off a little bit of the corner right here. And, feeding him again, amazing. That was wonderful. But yeah, besides that, not too much else going on here. We will say our next track is going to be GBA Sky Garden, and we're not going to talk too much during the race because Abel's going to be performing PRB. He's going to be trying to do a very difficult shortcut that, oh my God, Rob, that is brutal. Oh,
This is
no.
exactly why I veto Rob at the very beginning of my runs. He does.
Unbelievable.
He is a troublemaker.
But yes, anyway, we're moving on to GBA Sky Garden, and Abel's going to be trying some PRB to do a very difficult shortcut. So let's all give Abel the best luck he can get, and let's see some PRB.
Yeah, we have $32 from N Forest that says, congratulations on pulling off the Mario Circuit shortcut, Abel. Best of luck to you in the rest of the run.
Shout outs to End Forest and the Balloon Battle Boys.
All right, Abel has
Balloon
performed the
Battle Boys.
shortcut. Yep, very nice shortcut. Abel is going to hold PRB and hopefully do it 2 more times.
Yeah, so this is a very difficult strat where basically Abel needs to space all of his mini turbos out just right so that he's releasing them right before he's about to go over all these gaps. And also, maintaining this while driving through all of these crazy obstacles across different terrain. And this is very good so far, but we have some computers that are going to try to ruin our fun here. Hopefully.
Okay. Still hanging on
That
very
was
well right now.
crazy.
I think we're going to see it. We don't see this often, especially on Abel's streams. It's very rare to see a 3-for-3, but here it is, baby. 3-for-3 PRB shortcut. That is what we like to
awesome.
see. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's just
Yeah.
incredible. Again, we don't see that often.
Yeah, PRB saves a ton of time in this track. There's a 7-second difference between the non-PRB and PRB world record here.
Yeah,
So
and it really is the make or break of the entire speedrun because that's the second to last track. So, if you're on world record pace, the nerves are kicking in. It is just an incredibly hard feat to see. But we're now on the last track. This is GCN Yoshi Circuit. We're going to see a PRB shortcut at the beginning right there. Very nice. Fun fact, this track is shaped like Yoshi. Very nice. Look at that.
So I think I want to give. So this is like the last track of the run, and we're going to be calling time at the end of the 3rd lap. But I want to give a quick kind of shout outs to, or just kind of encourage people to get into MKDS. It's a really fun game. We have a ton of people in the community. Our main Discord server, Mario Kart DS Network. We have people who play Wi-Fi. We have people who play time trials. We have people who do a lot of versus runs or 32 track runs. We also have a new kind of task community that's really been getting off the ground recently, thanks to a lot of the new discoveries. And, there's a ton of people all willing to help you. Some of the newest people, some of the best people in our community right now joined as recently as last year. So there's really never a better time to get into MKDS and show us your stuff.
Yep, invest in MKDS stocks right now. Just incredibly valuable, sentimentally, of course. But yeah, while we wrap up this last lap, I just want to give a quick shout out again to the entire community, but also for me, Abel, and Puddings, you could follow us on Twitch. You're going to see Abel stream on Twitch. He'll play Mario Kart DS most nights. He plays it a lot. And you'll also see me and Puddings stream every now and then as well. We all love this game. We're all very happy
We're going to pull time.
And time!
Woohoo! Congrats!
Awesome. Cool. So that's Mario Kart DS 32 tracks. Thanks, guys, for having me, first and foremost. So yeah, thanks Summer Games Done Quick for having us. It's a real privilege to have been chosen to showcase the game I've loved most, and especially when fundraising for such a good cause. So please keep donating. This is fantastic. Would you like to say something in addition, Puddings?
I guess our last kind of thing that we wanted to shout out is we currently have an Wi-Fi tournament going on right now, and you can join. Well, you can't join in anymore. We closed submissions, but there's a lot of high-level gameplay going to be going on for the next month, especially on Abel's stream and some other streams in the Mario Kart DS community. So check that community on Twitch, see if there's anybody streaming some high-level matches, and give it a watch.
Yes. Yeah. As for myself, you can catch me streaming runs for the game every day on twitch.tv/Abel. I'd also like to encourage you guys to check out a feature-length Mario Kart DS documentary on YouTube. It's called MKDS 2021. Check it out.
Just one more thing really quick.
It's a good watch. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Really quick before we end, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Alberto. He is a professional Mario Kart 8 Deluxe player. He might be here watching in the chat right now, but either way, we want to wish him a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
And sorry we couldn't be there in person. I'd love to attend the GDQ event one day. Thank you so much to my co-commentators, Puddings and mikeylorr, for being here with me today. You guys carried the commentary. Also for our host, who did a brilliant job as well. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.